Hey,
Hey,
how's it
here
going,
we are.
Scott?
How's it going?
Yes, I'm doing great.
Yeah.
I got this thing to work. So, as you guys
Yay.
probably noticed, Jeff isn't with us this week. I think he's live on stage right now at another conference. But we're here still, Ryan and Scott.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yes. The B
So you doing
team.
well?
Yeah,
No,
I'm
no, no,
doing
no, 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 no.
it.
Don't say that.
It's okay.
That's not true.
It's okay. I don't mind being on the B team. It's a cool team. This is the best team. B stands for best.
Yeah, so we had to do just a little bit enough weaponized incompetence so that Jeff doesn't think that he can just stop doing these with us.
Exactly.
So we need to screw up something. So far, it's going off without a hitch, which is making me a little nervous. So it's my first time behind the controls. I'm sure I'm going to screw up something, but it'll be all good. It'll be all good.
What is your shirt? What is your shirt about?
Oh, yes. It says C-Tech Astronomy
E-Tech
on it.
Astronomy. Okay.
Yes.
I do know that
and
reference. I actually love the movie Sneakers. Yeah.
Yeah, I have two sneakers shirts actually.
Wow.
So
That's one of
yes.
the weirder, like kind of like a deep cut 90s movie.
Oh, I love it.
It's a great movie. Dan
Great
Aykroyd
movie.
and Robert Redford, and yeah, it's a great movie. Yeah. That was one of the movies that was like really kind of got me into cryptography. I didn't know it really existed until I knew what like puzzles were, but like, you know, cryptography itself, the science behind it is fascinating. Did you know about the thing in front of the NSA? There's like a big statue in front of the NSA that somebody planted that has got a code on it that nobody can crack.
Nice.
It's like
no, I haven't heard of this.
It's a public art thing. It's huge. It's like I want to say it's like 10 feet tall or something like that, and like 15 feet wide or something. It's huge. You know, it's it's kind of like a wavy metal pattern, and it's punched out all these numbers and letters and stuff, and nobody knows what it says. Cryptologists have been trying to crack it for years. Yeah. So there have been a lot of speculation, like it's the secret to like who actually killed Kennedy.
Of course.
That it's like proof that ghosts are real. I don't know.
Well, I'll have to dig into that and give my hand at trying to crack it.
Yes. Yeah.
But like you, I watched that when I was a child, like maybe in high school, I think, and fell in love with it. Like the movie was just fantastic. I think that's what got me really interested in tech. I thought I wanted to be an ethical hacker. Turns out that's not nearly as fun as what it's made out to be in the movie. But anyway,
yeah,
I'm still here.
90s kind of lied to us about hacking. Like we all thought that it would be like speed typing, and you're talking real fast, and you got these cool hairstyles, and you ride a skateboard, and it's not that.
Mostly it's just tricking someone over the phone to give you a password. So
yeah, just like clicking, a lot of clicking. Yeah. That's pretty much it.
Cool. Well, we're starting to get some folks here. We got Startup Sanatana. Hopefully I said that right. I've been practicing that for like the last few weeks. Startup. We got Miguel, we got Fabio, Trade Lass is of course here, Agency 2. Good morning, everybody. So we're here every week to answer your questions, talk about Alexa, see what we can do to help out. So please bring your questions. I know we don't have Jeff here. Hopefully we can get you the answers as well. But yeah, and again, Jeff is actually speaking. I can actually post stuff. I have like all the controls to like everything. Wow. Normally Jeff takes this away from me so I don't screw anything up. But there's actually a voice conference going on right now. I just pasted a link into the comments section there. And I believe he's on stage right now. So if you'd rather listen to Jeff, you can go listen to Jeff. But I would prefer if you stayed here and chatted with us so we can get your questions answered. But awesome conference going on in Virginia right now. You guys should check it out. And I think they're streaming a lot of it online as well. Cool. Okay, it looks like we're getting a couple questions come in. Let's see. Agency 2. My problem has not been solved. There's a separate developer accounts to match invocation. Wow. Scott,
wow, yeah,
we've talked about this for the last
movie.
few weeks, I believe.
Yeah. Okay. This is going to take some digging. So here's what I would like agency to, if you could, I want to say, I don't know if you've done a contact us case or not, but if you could write in a contact us case to the developer advocacy team, which is just us, which is me, then I will grab it and I will escalate it, because I have access to policy people. I can talk to AWS people. I can talk to all kinds of people. So this is a weird one. And honestly, to be honest, I want the answer to this. This is the weirdest thing. I can't even imagine why they would make this rule. But if it's real, then we're all going to get educated. So, but if he has filed a contact us case, then I will go and look. Either way, I'm still going to go and look. I'm still going to go reach out and dig into this. This is weird.
Yeah. It seems counterintuitive and not scalable at all.
So when you're building a skill for another person, like if you're building a skill as an agency and you are not the owner of the skill, like I'm building a skill for Bob's Used Cars, I always encourage people to make a developer account for Bob's Used Cars, make the skill inside that, and then give that account to Bob's Used Cars, and then leave yourself on as a admin just to maintain, but not the owner of the account, because the owner of the account then goes to Bob. But to be honest, this doesn't make this that's like as close as I can get to how related to that is. That doesn't, to make your invocation name match the company name doesn't. It kind of goes against everything else that I've learned.
Right.
So
yeah, I don't like it at all. At all.
That's weird. Okay, we'll look into it.
All right. Awesome. Sorry, Agency 2. That's a pain. Okay, Fabio on LinkedIn has asked, guys, can you go explain in detail what's matter in thread? And I cannot go into detail about this. It's on more of the hardware side, and I'm more of the software side of the house. But I'm going to pull from my memory, because I know. So we announced recently the support for Matter over Thread is coming to Echo devices soon. And what this is it's a way to connect to devices. That's kind of an industry standard way for devices to be able to connect with like smart home devices. I'm doing a terrible job explaining this. This is not my area of expertise, but I know that's something that is, as we're looking to integrate with all kinds of other devices and be more compliant and work with, the VII, the Voice Interoperability Initiative, like these are all things like adopting, standards out there to be able to make sure that we play well with all the other devices. This is a big step in that. And I know, like we announced it's coming soon. I know there's going to be a lot more announcements on the radar that we can route you to. But right now, I'm just not the one to kind of dive into that. Scott, have you been looking into this much? I know It's a big deal, but I just don't know the details.
So we have a whole guy for IoT that is like, we all just absolutely rely on this person, because I got really into IoT for a while there. And then I blinked and I think I fell asleep for 4 hours and everything was different. So I couldn't there's a lot of stuff that has come out recently, and this is not one of the ones that I'm familiar with. So I have no idea what that is. Sorry.
We are so helpful there.
Yeah, super helpful. This is great.
Yeah, I would say stay tuned to Alexa announcements. I think we're going to dive into a lot more detail about this, and hopefully have a lot more content coming out about what this means, why it's important, why it's such a great thing, and so on. So cool. Sorry I couldn't go into more detail there. I did post a link from our blog that talked about the announcement that it's coming. So maybe that can provide a little bit more detail, but sorry. Okay, let's see. Gavin Watson on Facebook says, I have a question suggestion for Scott, I think. Would it be possible to add a history to tickets raised? Sometimes I raise multiple tickets and just get a reply, and I cannot remember which question the answer relates to. The history in the dashboard or the original question in the email reply would be really helpful.
Yeah,
That's actually
there. Well, so part of like the way that we respond is to kind of summarize the issue that when you write in a ticket and you say, hey, I need help changing my company name or something. Usually we'll respond with, I understand that you are looking to change your company name, kind of, but that's not quite the same as to what you're asking. I tell you what, I will take this I have a meeting with my team later on today, and I will take that to them, and we'll see about summarizing, like putting in some kind of a summary of the previous issue, just so we can kind of wrap it up. It's not a bad request. It's a great request, actually. It's great feedback, and it's kind of stuff we absolutely love to hear. So yeah, I'll take that to my team later on and see what we can do for you.
Awesome. All right. W Giorgio is asking, I was wondering about, everything okay over there?
Yeah, sorry, it was my phone. The Mandalorian is knocking on the door, apparently.
Awesome. So W Giorgio was asking, I was wondering about using a variable within another one. Actually, I'll just show this on the screen here. So basically, this is a data binding syntax is what I'm reading this as in some, looks like maybe APL document. So I'm looking through the documentation right now as we speak. So obviously, like if you replaced ordinal with a number like 0 or 1, 2, like that would obviously work and be able to pull in from that list. But using a variable to maintain which ordinal value of the array you're wanting to look through, I thought that would work. Although what I'm not sure about is the curly brackets around the ordinal value, because you're already, I may have to just try this out. Yeah, so I'm seeing it should, like I'm seeing examples here. Let me paste in the page of documentation that I'm looking at for you, W Giorgio. Scroll down to array and object access. There is an example where they're getting the index value of an array by using the array.length. It's about halfway down the page under section array and object access. And maybe I'll just share my screen on this so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. Would be a lot easier than, now I just lost it. Where to go? Okay. Oh no. See, I made my screen different size and the page just scrolled like crazy. So there it is. Okay. So let me figure out how to share my screen. Share screen. Oh no, may not let me. It says I need to authorize this. Oh no. There we go. Let's try not restarting my browser. I'm on a Mac, so you always have to like redo everything, but let's see if this works. I think this is the correct window. Are you guys getting anything?
No.
No, Chrome has lost permission. All right, I would have to restart my browser, and doing that while streaming live would not be a great thing. But about halfway down the page, again, there's a section called Array and Object Access, and in it shows you how to do that. Now they're using the same array, but you should be able to do that. W. Giorgio, if you're still having issues with this, ping me on Slack, because this is one of the things I would love to, like, this would be a great thing for me to kind of dive into and kind of do and verify myself, because that should work. So let me know. Or if anyone else has suggestions, which maybe you've already commented on there. Like, what I love about this is a lot of times you guys will comment the correct answer before that we can even get to it. So cool. All right. Let's see. It's another.
Jeff is out and AWS goes down. Any correlation? Well, I mean, clearly.
Yeah, I just got that notification before jumping on here, so I haven't been able to dive into what exactly is going on.
It's got some server issues apparently.
That's definitely not good. I'm sure they'll get it resolved.
Yeah.
So Agency 2 said App Store allows developer name different from brand or app name. I can send all the details. Agency 2, maybe if you just if you're on Slack, maybe just ping myself on Slack and I can get you connected to Scott. Or Scott, what you gave a recommendation on the best way to contact you?
Yeah, the contact us page is for developer advocacy, and currently there are well, without going into details, I will find it because I'm the one looking at all of the entire thing now. So
all right.
Yeah. So I'll see it.
Scott is the man. Fabio's asking if possible, bring someone to talk to us next week on Matter and Thread. Fabio, if you come back next week, if you promise to come back next week, I will try to get, so one of my colleagues, so I'm on the skill side with Jeff, but we have a whole hardware side. And one of my colleagues is on the hardware side, and I can definitely bring him into the conversation. Hopefully his name is Andy. And maybe we can bring him on as a special guest by recommendation. So, okay, I will try, Fabio. But that means you have to come. So please come back next week. Okay, W. Giorgio. Let's see. Replying to me. Yeah, cool. Awesome. Looks like that might be getting resolved. Awesome. Again, W. Giorgio, if that doesn't work, hit me up on Slack. And we can chat about that. I'm pretty sure you're on Slack. And for those of you who don't know about Slack, which would be crazy at this point because we talk about Slack all the time, this is a great way to get to talk to other members in the community, talk to us, vet ideas, and it's just a fun place to chat. So feel free to come. There's the address, alexa.design/Slack. All right. We got to the bottom of that. That was an exciting first 10 minutes or so.
I was actually a little worried. I was like, oh no, there's a ton of stuff coming in, and no, it's fine. We nailed it. Woo. Okay.
So how's my signal? So and I'm asking this for a particular reason. I just got Starlink installed like yesterday at my house. So Starlink is the SpaceX launching satellites into space.
I didn't know that was available to the public.
Well, I signed up in February to the beta program, and I just now got it, which is exciting because we live in kind of the middle of nowhere in Phoenix. Like we're on a county island. I don't have high-speed internet, so I've been doing things like VPNing over like 2 different internet sources to try and get higher bandwidth. And so this is so far the first 24 hours have been going great, but hopefully I'm coming in a lot clearer and crisper. So,
well, you are.
Nice.
And you're there's very little fuzzing around like the edges of your face. You'll get a freeze in about every minute. You'll freeze frame for about 3 seconds about every minute or so. But I haven't seen it. Yeah, so I'm watching. I'm waiting for you to do it again, but it hasn't happened. Yeah, so
awesome. Yeah, so they've been launching satellites. They've been working their way down the different latitudes. It's still beta, so there's not full bandwidth. Like there's still expecting outages and things like that. But I'm hoping it's a better experience than my previous internet provider, which I still have. And I'm using a VPN called Speedify to go across both connections at the same time. In case one drops, it's supposed to be resilient. But I'm testing it live right now, so it seems like it's working okay.
Yeah,
so
doing great. I had no idea that that's amazing. First of all, I was really worried about how that was going to go, like, because it's a great idea. I love the idea of getting internet out to everyone. You can just turn your phone on in the middle of the Congo and you've got internet, like that's fantastic. I was really worried about it because I grew up in the 80s and 90s, and satellite was never as good as they promise. Like everything satellite was always like, it's satellite.
They've had satellite internet. Satellite internet's been around for a long time. Like this is not
new for the military. It's been good, but other than that, it's not really great for everybody else. But I'm really excited about this because, and of course, Amazon's doing one too. Well, not Blue Origin's doing one too, but what's it called? What is it called? I don't remember. But it's really cool. And so this is like the future. This is how it's going to be in the future. We're slowly removing all the wires. I feel like that's what's really going to start happening. Well, the moment we can start broadcasting power, that's going to be a big deal. But
the amazing thing is that this thing it comes with like a Wi-Fi router, but it doesn't even have an external Ethernet port, which it's like order one. Yeah, so you can order one because I don't want to I have like a mesh network system. So like where I have it running to my house, it doesn't reach the other side of my house. So I need an Ethernet jack to like get it going.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty darn excited because I've been waiting like 10 months for this. So
that's cool. It's really cool. It's like I've mentioned a couple times, our house is real old. So like in the 80s and 90s, people weren't really concerned. The people that lived here weren't really concerned about maintaining the oldness, like maintaining the charm. So they were just trying to update it. So we have a ton of wires just all around the house. There's a stupid satellite TV dish on the side of the house that I still haven't taken down because it weighs 300 million pounds and I have to go up there and get it. And it's like, they won't come out and get it. They're not going to come out and get this. They don't want it. So I got to go up there with a 40-foot ladder and try to not kill myself trying to get this stupid satellite dish off the side of my house. But like, I've just been yanking all of these cables and stuff off of the side of my house. There's so many phone lines.
Yeah.
There's so many like telephone phone lines.
My old house, like there was like coaxial cable installed in like every single room. Like every room there was like coaxial cable going to it, and some of it was installed after the fact, so it ran like along the side of the house and then ran inside. So not super great, but so far I've been doing like speed tests and I've been getting about 200 to 300 meg down, which is pretty darn amazing.
That's
and about
great.
30 to 40 up, although that is a lot more volatile, and like pings of like 30 milliseconds. So
wow,
I don't know. We'll see how this works.
I mean, that's like, this is,
it's only supposed to get better. So yeah,
that's amazing. That's incredible. So, that's how it's going to be in the future. We're going to be able to go to Antarctica and have the internet, and it'll be fine.
Yeah. So someone just asked me how much does it cost a month, and I believe it's $100 a month. I didn't care because I don't like I was getting DSL here before, so I was getting like 30 down was like my max, which is not great when you're doing a bunch of live streaming and conferences working from home all the time. So, but yeah, we'll see. It's been 24 hours, not even 24 hours since I installed it, and I haven't even installed it. It's kind of like strapped down to my deck outside with like those truck straps that you use just so it doesn't move anywhere. I have to like that actually counts. Yeah, I need to like permanently mount it so that it does well. But
I mean, technically that is installation.
Yes.
Not very pretty.
But yeah, so I'm excited about that. Nice Christmas present. What else? I'm getting a couple of Slack messages that it looks like the AWS outage is causing other issues with the Alexa console and such, which would not be too surprising. Sad, but hopefully that can get resolved fairly quickly. I haven't tried the Alexa console, actually. Let me try that myself.
Yeah, I'm actually getting messages as well.
Yeah, my team doesn't usually message me during office hours, so when they do, I'm like, uh-oh, what's... I should probably look at this. And yeah, I got a 504 gateway timeout, so that's not great. So yeah, hopefully we can all get this resolved quickly. Sorry about this.
So I'm also in this group with you, but I don't know if you know this or not. I'm getting the same messages. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll just have to keep an eye on that, and then hopefully it gets resolved rather quickly. Okay, we got a comment from YouTube from Doman. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that name correctly. The question is, why is Amazon rewarding Alexa developers only in specific countries? And this is actually a really great question. And I don't necessarily have all the answers to this, but I know it has to do with like legal and tax and all kinds of other restrictions. If it was up to us, we would make it like all these things available to everyone all the time. But we just simply can't for a lot of legality reasons. Even when we do things like giving away free things or doing sweepstakes, like you'll notice that like we can't always do it. Like maybe we'll do a bunch of stuff that's like US only. It's not because we favor the US over any other country. It's just because just different country laws and stuff. It's just really hard to do rewards and incentives in a global way. We try our best, but that's all I know. That's not too specifically detailed. I don't know exactly the policies and countries and all that, but I do know like we have teams that are like analyzing this and looking at where we can deploy different reward and incentives. So that's the reason. It's not nefarious. It's not to try to exclude. It's just reality of global capitalism. I don't know.
Yep.
Let's not go into there. Sorry. Let's keep this all. I can see Scott like, ooh, this is a great conversation.
Have a whole different conversation. No, but that's pretty much true. We always get the same questions. It's like, why did my friend in China get this thing and I did not? And it's not us. It's honestly like when we're doing a contest, if we could just say blanket laws, blanket giveaways for everyone and anyone, then that's the easiest way that you can do anything. Just if you take part in a contest, you get this prize. It's unfortunate. Local laws, the region's requirement that we report something or taxes or something, whatever the country's local legal system is. That's it. It prevents us from doing stuff like that. So,
bummer.
Sucks.
So we're getting some reports from a bunch of others folks saying they're also having trouble logging into the console. Definitely related to, I know Tapster here, let me put this comment on the screen. There's an AWS outage right now, which I'm sure is causing all the Alexa stuff. So you can watch the status here to kind of see what updates there are, and hopefully it gets resolved soon. And then W Giorgio said, well, I am, in reference to the incentives, well, I am in the US and I haven't gotten my credits in the last 2 months, and a sad crying robot face, which is really depressing. Is that something to fill out a contact us form, Scott?
Yes. So the policy for AWS credits in Alexa has changed. It had something to do with the way that it was set up. I can't really go into, for one, I don't know all of this stuff, so I can't really give you a good explanation, but I do know that it had not been changed since the beginning of Alexa. And so they kind of went through and retooled some stuff and they made it be better. So I know that there were about 150, 200 people or so, developers that we were expecting to write in to say, hey, what's going on? So write in to contact us page. We will do the contact us for developer advocacy for Alexa, and then we'll do a deep dive and see if you're still eligible. But eligibility is just the question here. So that's all we have to find out. But I can't do that on TV. So, but yeah. So yeah, write us a case and we'll dig it in for you.
Awesome. Oh, WJojo said,
oh, cool.
That I did this morning.
Okay.
Perfect.
We'll see it when I get done here.
Yeah. Scott sees all.
I see all.
Cool. What else is going on with you, Scott? Taking plans to take some time off around the holidays?
Probably. We have my fiance is asking about the Secret Santa stuff, and so her family is one. I don't know. This might be your family as well. I'm not sure, but her family is one of the families that does the Christmas present games, where like you have the opportunity to trade or steal. And I have always found that these games are incredibly evil and cause nothing but fights and tears. So do this game because I don't want Christmas to also be associated with tears and anger. So, because somebody really wanted that sweater, or they really needed that waffle iron or something, and they're just vicious.
To me, it works when you have like $5 gifts, like like a little game or like some candy bars or something like that.
The waffle iron toaster thing is not okay.
No, that's
you can't feel that.
So I'm not a huge fan of The Office, the US version of The Office. Like I know people like watch it like crazily. I know. But the Office gift exchange episode I thought was hysterical, where they all bring like a little gift, and then Michael brings like what, like an iPod or something like that.
It was an iPod, not a touch. It was an iPod, not show. iPod. It had the screen on it. What was the one where they had the screen and you could watch movies on it?
Yeah,
they were like $500.
Yeah, like a really nice gift.
Like, it was
really
like $500
gift.
Yeah,
everyone else probably like a $5 thing.
Yeah,
and that to me kind of symbolizes that game. Like it's just awkward.
Yep, somebody's gonna mess it up. It always happens. So that's probably what I'm going to be trying to avoid this year. Other than that, we are teaching my dog Murphy how to use talking buttons. Have you watched these videos?
I have.
Isn't it fascinating? For two reasons. One, I have watched this poodle learn 40 words and have full conversations with her owner.
You watched it at first and you're like, this is just a gimmick. Like this isn't
right.
You keep watching and you're like, no, this is like legit. Like, it's insane.
It is absolutely. I've watched like 15 or 20 other people who have trained their dogs to do this. And this is why, first of all, it's awesome. I'm going to absolutely do. We've already, the first thing he learned was treat. So of course, because that's the easiest one. So he learned to push the button for treat. So I fed him like 4 hot dogs last night in little tiny bits. And then he learned water, and then he learned outside. This is in 24 hours. So he's very smart, and this is going to work for him, I think. But this is also, it's kind of haunting. iPod Nano. This is kind of haunting because it's like, makes you wonder.
Thanks, Fred.
How long have dogs been able to do this? And we haven't encouraged this. Like, we've been talking to them, and they've been kind of able to understand. We know that they can understand us and they can kind of respond to our words and stuff. But like, this dog has conversations with her owner. So like, if this is the case,
it's
like,
amazing.
Why haven't we done this years and years ago? And I'm scared to think about how frustrating that must be for the dogs.
Well, I'm like, okay, selfishly, I'm like, I don't know if I want my dog to like be able to like tattle on me. Like, the dogs are home with me all day. My wife comes back and the dog's like sitting there like do like telling all these things. I'm like, but more seriously, like, it's almost like neglectful to like not allow them to express themselves.
Right now we have to. This is going to be like part of raising a dog.
Yeah.
Teaching it how to talk. I'm up for it though. It's cool. I feel like this is going to be this is the beginning of the, like, in 100 years from now, there's going to be just a box that you hang on your dog's collar that they're just going to start to talk.
Like the movie Up.
This is the beginning of that technology.
Yeah. Well, I want reports. So we'll need updates on this.
Yeah.
Okay. So While we were chatting about dogs talking dogs, we got another follow-up question from Domen. So is there any way to make money if I develop a skill for Alexa, for example, in Slovenia? I was stalling on answering because I was trying to pull up the documentation on in-skill purchases and some of the other details around that, but I cannot get to our documentation right now. Even on our documentation, I'm getting a 504 gateway timeout error. So I am unable to verify exactly like country by country, but we in the developer documentation, and so I'm posting a link in here. It doesn't resolve anywhere right now, but presumably some point in the future, if you save this link, it'll take you to the in-skill purchasing documentation. And maybe it'll work for other people, but for me, it's definitely not.
I thought I have it cached, but I don't. I don't have. Time. I don't have the detail page. Dang it.
Presumably in the future.
Oh
yeah,
I can get
that link will resolve. And either that page or some of the other pages around it do talk about country compliance and stuff. And to be clear, we are actively trying to grow our footprint around the world to make sure we are inclusive of as many countries as we can. Mm-hmm. It just takes time. So it is unfortunate if it can't be done today in the country that you're looking to, but hopefully in the future we'll get there. So that's the vision, at least, to be kind of everywhere.
Yeah, it's Alexa everywhere. That's the goal. In-skill purchase. We're also trying to grow a lot of in-skill purchasing stuff. That's something that we keep coming around to it in all of our big all hands meetings and stuff. We talk about, in-skill purchasing. It has not quite caught hold yet. There's been several articles, the idea that you can put stuff on a grocery list and then, you just ask her to put something, I don't want to wake her up. But you just say, put it on my grocery list, or send this to But it sounds really cool, and you do it, and it's not. But it just didn't quite catch. It didn't quite catch the American wonder, or the wonder of the people. So they're trying very hard to try to get some kind of method of really promoting ISP or in-skill purchasing with developers, and to try to make it work. And
we announced two more ways to monetize skills. So we've heard loud and clear from the developer community that monetization of skills is something that's really, really important to be able to get a return on the investment of time that you guys are putting into developing these skills. So we've had in-skill purchases for a little bit, but we also talked about at Alexa Live 2 other ways. And let's see if I can get these correct. So Amazon Associates. So you can, in a skill, refer to another product. Let's say Jeff likes to use an example of a skill where he is reviewing different board games, not games that he owns, just public board games out there, and to say hey, if you would like to purchase this, I can go ahead and add this to your shopping cart. Well, if he signs up with Amazon Associates, which is a great way that you can kind of get a kickback from, I don't know if kickback's proper term there, but that's kind of how I view it. Kickback for when someone makes a purchase by you doing the recommendation. That's what all these websites do when they link to Amazon. They go through Amazon Associates so that if they make a recommendation of a product, which you can now or soon do in a skill, then you can get a little bit of money from that transaction as just kind of like a referral fee. The other way, and I don't remember the name of this, is that you can actually sell your own products on there. So let's say you're doing a yoga skill, and you offer up your own branded yoga mat that is in Amazon, and you can ship and get through Amazon. You can also do that where you can link to one of your own products, and then you'd make the normal money as you do fulfillment from Amazon of your own product. So those are coming. We're actively trying to figure out the most way. We've heard from developers that ads are something that is desirable. So we're looking into that. We're trying to figure out all different ways to help you guys monetize and see fruit from this. So
it seems like nobody wants ads. So, and that's the biggest moneymaker on the internet is ad space. But we also don't it's hard to get ads. Like we want people to be able to advertise. I'm actually a little surprised that like multi-level marketing groups have not figured out a way to do this so that they can try to like get in on Alexa. I'm a little surprised about that, but because they always find everything. Like, I mean, I remember back in the beginning when, or back in like the 90s, I worked with a lady who really tried to get me into Amway, and she had these cool CDs that you could get, and CD-ROMs were the new thing. And so it was her business card. It was like a little
Did
CD.
it work?
It didn't work. The CD worked.
All right.
But I did I didn't go.
Yes.
I didn't sign up for Amway. It was very interesting, but not for me.
Okay. We got another question from. Okay. Jeff is really awesome at pronouncing this. Swagooey Mongooey.
Right. Like he just rolled that off last week. I was like, how do you know how to do that? Sorry, go ahead.
He's good. Well, Swagooey Mongooey has been around for a long time.
Yeah, so clearly, yeah.
Asking on Twitch, hello, is it true that soon we'll be able to make Alexa recognize the sound we want to trigger a routine? Again, I was trying to pull up the documentation on this, but yes. So I found a document on Verge where we did announce this, where you will be able to like teach Alexa a sound and be able to trigger a routine. I think we talked about that at Alexa Live as well. I don't have dates for when that's available, but that is what I believe is out there. It's been reported on The Verge. So it's hopefully coming. When was this article? Yeah, from September. Amazon will let you teach Alexa to recognize and respond to sounds and detect occupancy. So I would love to give you links to our own stuff, but I can't load much on our developer portal. So oh, I may have dropped. Am I frozen or is Scott frozen? That's the big question right now, because he was getting ready to talk, but I don't know if I'm frozen. Okay. I'm live then. I should probably keep talking. Cool. Yeah, and I know like you can, I know Jeff talks about he created a routine to trigger when his dog is barking, and it'll respond to say with the dog's name. I can't remember his dog's name right now, but it'll say like, hey, stop barking. So I know there are some things that you can do with sound detection today. I'm just not sure exactly what is all there or not. It's funny. Thanks for confirming it was Scott frozen and not me. I just assumed it was me because of the new internet. I just assumed that I had dropped. So glad to know that I should keep talking and not do something embarrassing. Cool. Well, hopefully Scott is coming back on. He just pinged me and said that he lost internet. So that's fun. But yeah, so sound detection, I think that's gonna be really cool. One of the things I would like to use it for is we have a pool in our backyard. We live in Phoenix, so everyone has a pool in their backyard. But we don't have one of those big fences that goes around it. And so what we do is we have this door alarm that triggers if you don't push the button, it will trigger and cause a big alarm. Scott's back, yay!
Wow, that was all me. Were you still broadcasting while I was gone?
I was still broadcasting, but the funny thing is I was assuming that I was the one that was frozen. So because the new internet. But we're good. We're good.
No, it was definitely me. Both your screen and my screen went.
Yeah.
We're gone.
Yeah. So I was just talking about like sound detection. So one of the things that I would like to do is, so we have this alarm on our back door. So we have a 5-year-old who is taking swimming lessons, but is not necessarily the greatest swimmer in the world. And so I want to teach Alexa that sound of the alarm going off so that I can get an alert saying like, hey, someone opened the back door without pushing the button first, which is, up, it's like 6 feet high, so he can't reach it. But there's a lot of other, like I know glass detection is a sound that's been around for a while. I think there's been a few like dog barking and sound and glass breaking that you can use today. But I have lots of ideas for like just any random sound that you can teach it. So Yeah, so Swaggery Mangui, is there a beta like sound detection? I'm not sure. I don't know. But cool.
I could teach my dog how to turn the lights on by barking. That'd be cool.
Well, you'll soon be able to communicate and have a conversation. So
that's true. I'll just ask him and he'll just go and do it.
Oh, Trade Last has added that he actually went back and did the research. We've added water running and appliance beeping as 2 more sounds you can kick off Alexa routines. So definitely cool. Water running is definitely a bad sound depending on what room you're in. So that's definitely really good. Wondering if we could use sound detection to create a virtual swear jar. Oh, that is brilliant. That was from Auction Box on Twitch. And I think that is absolutely brilliant.
That'd be pretty fun. That would be, that's what the Stallone movie, Demolition Man.
Yes.
Remember that?
That is it. And print out little receipts.
Yep. They would fine you every time you swore anything. You get a 2-credit fine.
Yes.
I'm out. I do not like this concept. I do subscribe.
The very first thing I did, so I have Alexa to control all my lights in my office. And the very first thing I did was create a routine around the word illuminate, so that I could turn on the lights when I enter in the room, which is what is it Wesley Snipes? Is that who is the main? Yeah, that's what he changes the word to.
Oh yeah, right. From Demolition Man. Yes, Wesley Snipes.
Come on, keep up.
He said illuminate.
Illuminate.
Right. Yes. Yeah. It takes a second. This is my first cup of coffee. So.
But then I realized I couldn't consistently say the word illuminate correctly. And I would trigger a bunch of other false positives. So I changed it back to just turn on the lights. Yeah. So which works well. Okay. We got about like 10 more minutes left. What other questions are there? Last week, Jeff and I were at reInvent. Jeff gave 2 talks, one on the future of ambient computing. He also calls it like the future of people, which I think was the talk he was giving today as well, or a variation of that talk, talking about like what does it look like in 20 years, using stories like you've heard him tell many times, like I don't want to schedule a dentist appointment. But then also at reInvent, he did one on like what's new with Amazon Alexa, where he just kind of went through the last 12 months, what's new, to give attendees an update. So that was really fun. Got to meet with a lot of people. reInvent's always a blast in Vegas, always kind of crazy.
I'm a little upset that I don't get to go.
It's really hard to get to go. And even if you do get to go, you don't, as an employee, we don't get access to much because they want everything to be available for customers, right? So they don't want a bunch of employees packing a room when like it should be for customers. So like I was there as Jeff's backup speaker, and like I got grilled entering into all the different rooms, which is awesome because like I had like a yellow lanyard. They're like, "Why are you here? You shouldn't be here." And I'm like, "No, I'm his assistant." And like it was the whole thing. They're doing their job very, very well at reInvent. So
that's impressive. Let's see what else. I think it's. Did you hear that there is a? Oh yeah, there is a. You're not anywhere near Washington, so apparently there's a river that's going to dump out over the top of our state. There is a. Yeah, like a.
What does that mean?
Atmospheric river is what it's referred to. It's not rain anymore.
That's just a really large amount of rain. Is that what that is?
Yeah. Well, apparently there are like rivers in the clouds. I don't just read about this. I just saw a National Geographic documentary about this, about how in the Amazon, over the Amazon rainforest, the clouds and the vapor are so dense that it creates actual like tributaries through the clouds. It's amazing.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
it makes sense. It's river. Fluid. Yeah.
And
Trade
so now they're going
to
dump out. It's going to dump out over all of Seattle. So
nice.
Looking forward to that.
Yeah. So I lived in Seattle for about 5 years, about 4 years ago, before I realized I really enjoy the sun and moved down to Phoenix. But when I moved to the Seattle area, I was explained the difference between wet rain and dry rain. Completely foreign concepts to me, because in Indiana, where I was born and raised, we only had like diagonal rain that came pouring down and just like got you completely soaking wet.
Right.
And they're like, no, we have like this dry rain, which is just kind of like misting and just kind of like lightly raining. You don't really get wet from it, but it's still raining. So that kind of blew my mind. But now you have what'd you call it? Atmospheric river rain?
Atmospheric rivers.
Yeah. You guys like water up there. So
We do. Yeah, we do. I am from the other side of the state. So
very different.
Washington could be divided down the middle of the Cascade Mountain Range and nobody would notice or care, actually. So
they might be happier.
I'm from the other side. What's that?
Yeah. That's like, they might be happier.
Yeah, they would be.
There's a lot of differences.
There's
geopolitical and
cultural difference is humongous. So they would be okay with being the 51st state. But it's all desert over there. There is a spot on the Cascade Mountains that as you're driving across the state on I-90 where all the trees just stop. It's a very shocking place when you're 9 years old and moving down from Alaska and we're driving across, and then you're in this amazing forest that you're so excited about to go and explore, and then all of a sudden they're gone. All the trees are gone. And it's a desert. I didn't think land did this when I was a boy. And so 115 degrees and it's hot. And it never rains there. The only time it ever gets any precipitation is in the wintertime when it snows, and then it just melts and then turns into razor sharp ice. So your tires get slashed. I hate that part of this. I hate it over there. But we never got any rain. So I moved here because of the rain, and it's wonderful.
Yeah. I definitely love Seattle. I try to get back there as much as I can. Summers are amazing.
Yeah.
Grew up in Indiana. Originally was always trying to get to Phoenix. A work opportunity came up and said, "Hey, do you want to move to Seattle?" I didn't know anything about Seattle, but I immediately said yes. And had a blast.
Yeah.
But
it's fantastic here. Although weird, because all of South Lake Union now has been completely reworked. Like the whole city, there's like 55 new buildings up in the last 10 years or something.
Yeah.
It's just, there's I think King 5, one of the local TV stations here did a fast, they took pictures from their traffic camera and they did a full progression of where it's been. It's completely different. It's amazing. It's completely different how many buildings have gone up in the last few years. It's just, it's crazy to see it. So yeah, we're seeing all kinds of change, and apparently they're not stopping. Apparently it's just going to keep going north, which is where I am now. I live north now. I live north end of the state. So
nice.
Boring. What else? What else have we got? We got a few more minutes. Anybody have any extra questions or comments?
It's supposed to rain here on Thursday, so it's like the first time in like 3 months. So,
are you like battening down the hatches? Are you preparing? Like, don't you guys have floods too? Don't you have like massive super floods that just come out of nowhere?
Yeah. Yes, we get. What are they called? Monsoons. Like we get monsoons, and that's a summertime thing. So we'll get those like giant dust walls, like you see in the movie Mummy. Come across, and then huge rains, and then it's fine. So,
really, like the big dust, like the big dust walls. You see those?
Yeah,
oh, man, you gotta take pictures of that.
It's I have a couple old ones. They're called haboobs. And it's just like you look out and you see this wall of dust coming, and you're like, I'm gonna stay inside. Like it just stings. You're like, no, let's make sure all the windows are shut.
That's what it's like in my hometown. Is that like I've never like the amount of dust that goes just constantly dusting, just constantly. It's just I'm glad that we don't have to do that here. Although now that I have an indoor fireplace, we are constantly dusting because of the indoor fireplace. Yeah.
Cool. Trade Last is talking about how he ordered an Echo Show 15 yesterday and it's supposed to arrive on Monday. Nice. Mine is supposed to arrive on Thursday. So I can't wait to unbox that and get that. I'm going to try and see if I can put it up here on the wall or something behind me. Because if you, I don't have nearly the impressive setup that Jeff has.
Yeah.
But I'm getting my own little collection here, so I'm thinking
Very
if I can
nice.
mount that on the wall, it'll be a nice addition to my setup. Let's see, Agency 2. Oh, great. He said he sent me a message on Slack. Cool. I will definitely take a look into that once we can get back into the console and everything. And cool. Trey Last is now talking about the swivel stand that he got for it. I'm going to try and mount mine on the wall. So we'll see. I used to have, where'd it go? I used to have my Microsoft Surface Pro computer hanging up there in the background, displaying an animated GIF of Crotty Robot, but I took that down when I put up new hexagons. So
I was thinking about mounting one of them on the head of a mannequin. It's like a body, and then you have the arms, and then you have the head be the Alexa Show 15.
Kind of like your Astro while you're waiting on the real Astros to ship.
Yes, yeah, it's right. It's my Astro that I can build myself until I get an Astro, because I'm getting an Astro. Those are cool.
Yes.
Like I just need to have a robot in my house. I don't really care what it does. I just would like to have a robot.
I know. I can't wait. I
can't live in the year 2021. I feel like robots should have happened 21 years ago, and nobody did anything about it. So we, I mean, the year 2000 was supposed to be the big thing, and it didn't happen. It's just, now I look back at it, and I'm just like, wow, we were surprised. Although we did get iPods. We did completely and thoroughly alter the entire music industry in that 1 year. That was pretty cool. Like, remember, like you used to buy like whole furniture pieces to display your CDs and records and tapes.
I know. Well,
and you had things on
record.
A
lot of people still do.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But like you have things on record and you have things on CD because record is the right way to listen to it. But it's like now everything's just in a rectangle in your pocket. It's a delightful rectangle that contains. I don't even buy anything like Spotify now. I don't buy anything.
Well, I was getting ready to say, like, it's not even here. Like it's in the cloud.
Yeah.
Somewhere streaming down. Like I still buy music to support like artists that I really, really like.
Sure.
But it's kind of just a formality just to say like, hey, like keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
Because I just listen to everything on Spotify.
Yep. That's yeah. I don't even we used to buy tapes. Couldn't wait to run out and grab a tape. I used to buy singles, tape singles, cassette singles, and just not anymore. It's all done.
My brother, who is older than me, got a 300 CD changer, so he could load all of his music in and just like jumped. Oh, that was so cool.
Yeah, wait 5 minutes for it to load and then go and listen to your music.
Hey, but you didn't have to, or he also had in his car like the 6 CD changer that was like in the trunk of his car, so that he could change that way too.
Yeah,
he was way cooler than me.
Oh man, that's like the coolest guy on the block. Especially like if you're in high school and you have like a CD changer in the back of the trunk and you can just plug in the cartridge and it's got all 10 of your CDs in there.
Yep.
That's just you are Mr. Jetson at that point. It's just not anymore.
Well, cool guys. I think we're at an hour. We can wrap this up. I definitely appreciate everyone joining today. I will follow up with some folks who pinged me on Slack. It's always a great way to kind of get in touch with us and keep the conversation going. I'm sure Jeff will be back next week. We might take a break from office hours for 2 weeks over the holidays. I need to check with Jeff. I know both of us are going to be on vacation, but I think that'll be like the week leading up to Christmas, and then in between Christmas and New Year's. I think those 2 weeks are going to be pretty quiet. We might not have office hours those 2 weeks, but then we'll be back in the new year. So definitely appreciate everybody today, and have a great week.
Thanks everybody.